Hi, I am Nikki Clements, and I used to make stuff like this.
I don't eat breakfast. I don't have any appetite in the morning. I've been like that for most of my life. As a kid, I'd be super hungry at night and my mom would say, just go to bed and you can eat a huge breakfast in the morning. And I'd just be like, okay, knowing full well that was a total lie because come morning, I would not be hungry in the slightest. I also don't really eat lunch. My lunch consists of a cup of iced coffee and a mini muffin, currently a strawberry one from Walmart, but their chocolate ones are pretty good too. So I don't really eat anything until dinner, basically intermittent fasting. Anyway, just because I don't eat breakfast doesn't mean I don't like breakfast foods. On the contrary, I've wanted to try Taco Bell's breakfast for ages. There is literally a Taco Bell like 100 feet from my day job, but I just never go because I'm never hungry in the morning. And of course, like any restaurant, breakfast is only served in the morning. So if I want breakfast food, I'm gonna have to make it myself, which is exactly what I'm doing today with my signature fiery breakfast burrito bowl. I'm going to start with the rice, and I'm just using some Mexican style rice-a-roni, and I'm going to cook it in a rice cooker. Doesn't really get any easier than that, short of using like the Uncle Ben's rice that you can microwave, but all of that bagged microwavable pre-cooked rice has this weird aftertaste that I don't really care for, so this really isn't that much more work, especially if you're using a rice cooker, because if you haven't tried one before, you're missing out. Not only are they super inexpensive, you can get a basic one for under $20. Not only do they make cooking rice easier than it already is, you can cook other stuff with it too, like pasta. Because what's the worst part about cooking pasta? Well, when you add milk, it just constantly boils over. Not in this. You just dump it, let it cook, and it's done. It's amazing. It's honestly my favorite kitchen appliance. I like it even more than my air fryer. And you know how much I like my air fryer. I'm going to cook up 2 boxes. And I do 1-to-1 pretty much all the time when I cook rice, even in the rice cooker. So I have a 1.5 cups of rice. I'm just going to add about 1.5 cups of water. That should be good. Get that good and mixed up. Close it on up, power, and rice. And then we just let it finish. Now normally if you're just cooking white rice, you can just leave it and let it cook until it's completely done. With like pasta and like rice-a-roni and stuff, I like to crack it open every now and then and just give it a good stir. So I'm gonna move on to cooking my meat. I have some beef chorizo. However, this turkey chorizo is also really good, but I haven't had this in a while. Now this recipe or food dish or whatever you want to call it is actually the evolution of a breakfast burrito that my roommate used to make decades ago when we lived together. Now I'm hoping I can cook all this on this little grill panini press thing. I'm not sure how well it's going to work, but we're certainly going to give it a try. Remember my homemade kitchen fork? Actually found one. The listing showed up on Amazon for like a day and I bought a couple. It's not the exact same one. It's still not perfect as the one I lost, but it's honestly a little bit better than the one I made. I used a pretty flimsy spatula for mine, but honestly I still use both of these. And of course I have my meat masher. All right, well that heats up a bit. I'm gonna get working on my eggs. Whoops. No harm done. This is honestly a great little life hack. You just drop the egg and it pretty much does a perfect crack. Sometimes you'll see them drop it directly into the pan. I don't necessarily like that one because the majority of the salmonella is on the outside of the shell. So if you're gonna do it, drop it in like a separate bowl or a separate plate and then put it in or whatever you're gonna cook. Just give this a quick stir. All right, just scramble these on up. Turn this down just a little bit so I get some more time. Cooking's hard enough when you're just trying to manage all the different dishes you have cooking, let alone trying to record and present a video and talk. So people who do legit cooking shows are impressive to me, for sure. All right, now I want to season my eggs, so I'm going to add some salt, some pepper, and I like adding some minced onion and a little bit of minced garlic. That was a lot, but okay. There are 6 eggs, so it should be fine. When was more garlic ever a bad thing? I also like adding just a little bit of cheese into the eggs. Not a lot, just a little. And one final seasoning I'm going to add to my eggs is this. What is this? Well, it's the cheese packet from this. Now, this on its own is gross. I mean, if you like boxed mac and cheese, more power to you, but I do not care for it. However, separately, this stuff is great. Take the noodles, put it in like a chicken soup, perfect. They're great noodles for something like that. And the cheese packet on its own, it's just a great seasoning. You can just put it on whatever you want. So there's the cheddar and the fiery. So just add this to like mashed potatoes, make cheddar mashed potatoes or fiery cheddar mashed potatoes. They look red and super weird, but they taste amazing. Add it to eggs, obviously, or add it to some actually good mac and cheese, like Bob Evans 6 cheese shell mac and cheese. Probably the best mac and cheese you can buy. Add in some of this and some taco meat. Now that's a dish. But yeah, this is just, I love this hack or whatever you want to call it, because I just keep this in the spice drawer, and anytime I want more cheese or more spice, it's great. This stuff's so good, just not the way it was intended. All right, let's see how well this works for eggs. I think if I just get it on there and let it cook a bit, it's not going everywhere. Pretty level. I think we're okay. I was going to put oil on that. Oh well. We'll make do. See, I had the oil on everything. Stop. I needed to like cook up a wall. This is definitely easier just with pots and pans on a normal stove. I'll tell you that much. And the rest of this. Yeah, I think 6 eggs is about the max that this could have handled. So that worked out, I guess. And 175, I think we're good. Yeah, the thing about chorizo, especially this kind, it's really hard to know when it's done, at least by looking at it. I think we're probably pretty good. I'm a fully cooked egg guy. I do not like any bit of runniness in my eggs at all. So most egg dishes I don't enjoy, like those over easy eggs or like poached eggs or anything like that. Just fully cooked, fluffy eggs for me. And then especially for a dish like this, you wouldn't want them really runny anyway, but we got about 6 minutes left on the rice. We'll see. Are you liking these salmon colored eggs? Doesn't that just look supernatural? Not like, well, it does look supernatural, but I meant, doesn't it look normal, like super natural? I think that's pretty good. We can shut that off. Ah, what a mess. All right, and our rice should be just about done. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Get a rice cooker. They're awesome. Well, we did it. There are the main ingredients for this breakfast bowl. Now I'm just going to mix it all together. So we have basically 3 cooked cups of rice, 2 cups of chorizo, and about 1.5 cups of eggs. So I don't really have a preset measurement for how much I use, but actually I kind of like this ratio that I got today. But this is pretty good. So the base is basically the Mexican rice, but I think that's a pretty good ratio. Give it a good shake. Nice. Now just 2 more ingredients to go. Some cheese. Now if you're going to eat all of this right away, go ahead and add the cheese. However, I'm going to freeze most of this, and you could probably freeze it with the cheese, but I think it works better to just freeze this and then add fresh cheese after you reheat it. So get some of these cups from Gordon Food Supply or whatever catering bulk food store you have near you. These tubs are fantastic to keep around. They come in a wide range of sizes. I just always have a bunch of these. It's great for when you're freezing stuff or you just don't want to use a bunch of good Tupperware. Dish out a bowl for right now. Maybe one more. 2, 4, 6, 7 bowls, not bad. Got accompanying tops. And I grabbed 6, that's nice. Now these can go in the freezer, and then whenever you want some, you just grab it, pop it in the microwave for a minute, add some cheese, and you're good to go. It tastes, I'd say 90 to 95% as good as when it's fresh. I was extremely impressed with how good it was after reheating from being frozen. So that's why I'm really looking forward to having a whole bunch, so I don't have to go through all that every time I want some. Now, bonus tip for today. Get yourself a pricing gun. You can get one of these on Amazon for like 10, 15 bucks, surprisingly cheap. Set it with today's date and go to town. So now you know exactly how long it's been in the freezer. Honestly, this thing is awesome. It's so much nicer than like writing on it with Sharpie or putting a piece of tape. Just anytime you put something in the fridge, just throw one of these tags on it and there'll be no question about when it was put in there. So I love this thing and it's super fun to use. If you're using it for this, I'm sure it's extremely annoying and monotonous to use if you're using it in a store at your day job, stocking boxes and adding prices to stuff. But yeah, use it to add like expiration dates or whatever onto your food. It's awesome. So a generous handful of cheese. And finally, some flaming hot Fritos. These things are great and they take this to the next level. Now, if it's not obvious, you could just put this in a burrito and have a breakfast burrito, but I thoroughly enjoy just eating it as a breakfast bowl. Now I really hope that these don't ever become discontinued because I really like these and they're really good in this dish. I don't know, chip manufacturers have a habit of discontinuing my favorite brand of chips. These are probably my favorite chip of all time and they are gone. This might be one of the last bags in existence, who knows? I'm just keeping it for prosperity's sake. These are just so good and I'm just so sad that they're gone. They came back for like a day and I bought the entire shelf's worth and then they never showed up again. Come on, Lay's, Ruffles, whoever, the one company that makes everything, bring these back, please. And Tostitos makes these Catalina, or what were they? Cantina, like thin and crispy chips, but they used to make a Chipotle variety, Those are incredible. Those were discontinued. Oh, and while we're at it, we should bring back Butterfinger BBs. Do you remember those? Are you sad now realizing that you forgot about those and that you can't have them now that you remembered them? Yeah, me too. You know what? One more ingredient just to bring a little bit more color. Got some green onions. It's really good. All right, well, that will about do it for me. If you try this, please let me know. Or if you just use this as inspiration for your own breakfast dish, you could just use some like breakfast sausage instead of the chorizo, or you could just use regular Fritos. I mean, obviously you can do anything you want, but I very much like this combination. But my sincere thank you for watching. Once again, I am Nick D. Clements. If you're wondering, Nick is short for Nicholas, and the D stands for disodium ionate. Anyway, I'm off to make something else.